Winegard Trav'ler Pro Turret Replacement. To replace a Trav'ler Pro turret, you will need a 3/16 Allen wrench, a crescent wrench, a 5/16 hex driver, a 7/16 wrench, a 1/2-inch wrench for DirecTV, and wire cutters. Begin by putting the IDU into service mode. Hold the power button to enter the IDU menu. Press the stow button 3 times to put the asterisk on service mode. Press the power button. Press the power button again to confirm. Allow the antenna to raise off the roof to its max elevation. Unplug the power cord from the back of the IDU. On the roof, remove the reflector nuts using either the 1/2-inch wrench for DirecTV or the 7/16 wrench for dish. Remove the washers from the bolts. Remove the bolts from the reflector. Set the reflector and hardware to the side. Cut the zip tie holding the sheath cable to the lift arm. Disconnect the sheath cable from the top of the turret using the 7/16 wrench. Remove the 4 3/16 Allen screws that secure the feed arm in place, then remove the arm assembly. Remove the 4 5/16 screws on the cable entry plate, then remove the plate and gasket. Loosen the large nut on the outside of the turret using the crescent wrench. Disconnect the data cable from the internal coupler. Remove the exterior cable crimp assembly using the crescent wrench, then remove the cable from the turret. Be careful not to lose the retaining nut from inside the turret. Disconnect any coax cables from the turret base using the 7/16 wrench. Remove the 9 5/16 screws securing the turret to the transition plate. Remove the turret and gasket from the transition plate. Place the replacement gasket and turret on the transition plate. Secure in place using the 9 5/16 screws. Remove the 4 5/16 screws on the cable entry plate, then remove the plate and gasket. Feed the data cable through the hole in the turret. Slide the retaining nut over the cable and thread onto the cable crimp assembly. Tighten the cable crimp assembly using the crescent wrench. Connect the data cable to the internal coupler. Tighten the large nut that secures the data cable in place. Replace the cable entry plate and gasket, then secure in place using the 5/16 screws. Reconnect any coax cables to the base of the turret. Tighten until finger tight, then use the 7/16 wrench to tighten a 1/4 turn more. Plug the power cord back into the IDU. Since the IDU was in service mode when unplugged, it will still be in service mode. When the IDU powers on, the antenna will raise to its max elevation so you can install the feed arm and reflector. Seat the alignment post on the back of the feed arm bracket into the alignment hole on the SKEW hub. Failure to do this will cause alignment problems and may damage the antenna. Secure the arm assembly to the SKEW hub using the 3/16 Allen screws. Connect the red heat shrink cable to the bottom port on the turret and the black cable to the top port. Tighten until finger tight, then use the 7/16 wrench to tighten a 1/4 turn more. Secure the sheath cable to the lift arm using a new zip tie. It needs to be secured between the 2 zip ties already on the sheath cable. Align the 4 holes on the reflector with the 4 holes on the reflector bracket. Insert the reflector bolts from the back. Slide the washers onto the bolts, then thread the nuts onto the bolts. Tighten the nuts. Torque should be between 35 and 50 inch-pounds. The IDU needs to be put back into normal mode to operate the antenna. Hold the power button to enter the IDU menu. With the asterisk on normal mode, press the power button. You have successfully installed the Trav'ler Pro replacement turret. If you need assistance, please contact Winegard customer support.